week to set up my flip camera for me. Now she's leaving, so I'm gonna wait till she leaves. Okay. I just recorded this video on my computer, and the same thing happened this last week where it cut off. It told me it was still recording fine for 10 minutes, but it cut off after 5 minutes. So annoyed. So this is the flip. I'm sure I look worse in it because it's super high def or whatever, which I don't need to be in high def. But hi, sorry I've been MIA for so long. And sorry too for my last video. I feel like I was like talking about how I went off the reservation and things were going bad, and I was eating handfuls of chocolate covered gummy bears, and I got really sleepy, and then click, it was over. The second half of the video, which is the better half, was saying that things were getting better and I pulled myself back on track, and I'd had such a good dinner with MJ. It was awesome to see someone in person. And you know, talking to the camera is wonderful, and I feel like I'm talking to you guys, but it's so nice to be able to respond immediately to someone and be like, oh, I do that too, oh, da da da. You know, and there's always stuff where it feels just like, not embarrassed to put it out in a video, but you know, I feel like I'm more 2 steps forward, 1 step back at this point with like the changes that I'm trying to make, and you know, overeating sometimes, and you know, eating cookies sometimes and all of that, where it's messier and bigger and more complicated than 10 minutes sometimes, especially once a week. And I know people are making like monthly videos now instead of weekly videos when they get kind of past the 6-month mark, but I feel like I need you. Like I really, really do. So I'm gonna make repetitive videos. Like that's just all I can do is make these repetitive videos every week where I'm like, I'm still working on it, and hope you guys don't mind too much. So to kind of give you a quick, obviously I'm in a different locale, and I can't turn the camera because you're so far away, but I'm in Cape Cod. I'm on vacation for a week. So this is my boss lent me his house. He has a house in Cape Cod, and it's 5 bedrooms, and our friends are out here. I have 2 sets of friends out, and it's so insanely nice. But to let you know how I got here, I was, let's see, weight-wise, I don't know what I weigh now. We don't have a scale for this whole week, which is at times insanely liberating and at times really scary. But I was 180.6, I bounced up to 182.6, got myself back on track, got back down to 180.6, and then the week before my vacation was probably one of the most stressful weeks I've had in like the last year. Like just really, really tough. And you know, I'm a journalist. I can take vacation, but it's not like anyone's covering for me in terms of working on my stories while I'm on vacation. So basically all of my interviews and all of my writing, I had to push into the week before my vacation, and I was doing, you know, 14-hour days, being at work till 11 p.m. some nights, every single day. Didn't go to the gym at all, like could not think of where I could do it. You know what I mean? And it was sort of an aberration this kind of week. So, you know, if this was my life, I feel like I would have worked harder to figure out how to make it work. But just a really, 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 really stressful week, and trying to get everything done and trying to plan this trip, and it was ugly. And I feel like in 4 days, I got all the way back up to 184. And I mean, I had a Dunkin' Donut. I got off the subway at 11:30 at night from work, knowing I'd have to go back in the next morning, not sure if I was going to finish all my work, walked in, you know, this is what happened. Walked into a CVS, picked up a box of, you know, cookies. I'm not going to give brand names. A box of cookies, a box of cereal. Stood there and talked myself out of it and was like, your life doesn't have to be this way. Like, this does not have to be your life. Put everything down, walked out of the CVS. Went 1 block, stopped into the bodega, looked at the Cocoa Pebbles, looked at the SpaghettiOs. You know what I mean? It was like, your life doesn't have to be like this. Walked out, got home. You know, I feel like, and then ate a bowl of cereal, which, you know, it is what it is. Like, I feel like that's sort of the biggest thing I'm feeling now, is like, it is what it is. And now I don't know what I weigh, but I know that I'm lower, and I know that I'm obviously being healthier, and I'm back to drinking my protein shakes. I'm having seafood and salad, and you know, we made blueberry waffles with all my friends, but I had a quarter of a waffle with some bacon instead of eating 4 waffles like I would have a year ago and sleeping. And yeah, this trip is just, now I feel like, okay, it's worth it. Like, that week isn't my whole life, and I feel like now I can really focus on kind of getting that week out of my system. It's hard though. It's like the last few weeks of being in the low 180s and really wanting to be in the 170s, and then feeling like I just don't have the energy to focus on losing weight, and know, but I need to have the focus constantly on being healthy and that kind of tension. It's strange in some ways to be struggling to be at this weight, or be, in this 5-pound range, or maintaining at this 5-pound range. And I feel like sometimes I get really upset that, like, oh, I'm, working to maintain at 180. What if this is the rest of my life, never getting to my healthy whatever. And I mean, obviously I'm like a drama queen sometimes. And then I think I will get to goal, and I need to be, I'm sure that will happen. But also I think about when I was 290, and I would look at my friends who are 220, or, the friend that I'm with here now is working constantly to stay in the high 100s. And I remember at 290 being like, I will work to be 200 pounds. Like, if you, literally, and I know this, I don't mean to sound crazy, but I would just be like, God, if you could get me to 200, I will go to the gym every day to maintain that. Like, going from 290 to 200 just seems so impossible, but if somehow I could get to 200, I promised that I would work really hard to stay there. And I would do whatever it took to stay there. And so now being 180 and, like, feeling like it's not going to be effortless for me to get lower, or to stay this small, that's fine. And I just feel so good. Like, that's what I have to keep reminding myself of, is I feel so good. And I feel better when I eat healthier, and I am taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and, it's getting better and better and better, pulling myself back on track after I have a bad day and that kind of thing. But, being here at the Cape, we ran outside. It was really hard, but we did it. And I was the fastest one out of the 3 of us. And we did yoga 2 days. And I mean, that I know, obviously I've been doing yoga, and the 2 people I was doing it with were new to it, but they couldn't hold a downward dog. And it reminded me that 2 months ago, I couldn't hold a downward dog, and now I can. Now that feels like a resting pose for me, my video is going to be so long. And we played tennis, and I'm in my, yoga outfit, so these tight pants and my sporty little jacket, and I'm running after the ball because I'm really terrible at it, so it's a lot of just running after the ball and picking it up, and I was just like not out of breath. And a year ago I wouldn't have wanted to play tennis, and I would have been miserable, and I would have been grumpy that people were upset, whatever, that I didn't want to play. And this year I want to play, and it's really fun, and we're going to go for this bike ride. And I just feel like things are so different than they were a year ago. And however roller coastery these last 2 weeks have been about gaining and losing these same 4 pounds, big picture things are awesome, and they're back on track being awesome. And I feel like I just have to remind myself of that. Like, I'm not the biggest person in this house right now, and I'm not the least in shape person, and that is mind-blowing to me. Like, mind-blowing to me. I mean, you guys probably can't see, but if I contort enough, sometimes in the mirror I can see collarbones. That's insane. It was cold. We went to the drive-in last night. It was cold, and I put on, this sweater that someone else was wearing, and it's like, it's huge on me. And the realization that things can be big on me and not like, oh, I really want to borrow your jacket, but am I going to break it, is awesome, 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 awesome. So I'm on the Cape. If anyone has been to the Cape before and has suggestions on what we should do or where we should go, please let me know. We're going to be here all week, and I'm going to try to make more videos of what we're doing and not be MIA, because I totally, totally need you guys. So talk to you soon. Bye.